Pitch was still very, very good. Hard and firm, and no real joy there for the Australian bowlers. England needed 164 at the start of play to avoid the follow-on. We join play now in the first over of the day. It's Jeff Thomson bowling to Chris Old.
Very wide one there. No movement of the feet whatsoever. Waft in the bat, just managing to get an inside edge. Could quite easily have dragged it on. That's another nice deflection by Chris Old. It's only been a mixture this innings. First boundary of the day, tucked away very delicately down there on the leg side. Now there seems to have played and missed or put it away for 4 off the middle of the bat. But in fact his fourth boundary in his score of 25. That's high in the air again. Is it going to clear? McCossack's are going around. Yes, that's over the top into the pavilion. A great straight 6 by John Snow. And something at last for these faithful English supporters. Coming quite good numbers here this morning to shout about. Really good ball that from Thomson, made it lift off a length. And that's quite an achievement here on this pitch on the 4th day. Luckily there for John Snow, there was nobody in close for the catch. There is this time, outside edge, straight into the very safe hands of Greg Chappell at second slip. John Snow falling then, caught Greg Chappell, bowled Jeff Thomson. A very excellent performance here by John Snow. 30 very useful runs, showing that even low down the order, runs can still be made on this pitch. John Snow getting a good hand from the Oval members there. Certainly brought some life, very nearly established the best partnership of the innings. They put on 43. And John Snow finally falling to Thomson here. No movement in the ball, just playing inside it, an outside edge. And the fairly easy catch to Greg Chappell. Still going to keep the mid-off and cover point. 3 slips in a gully. And that's another catch. Oh, no bother at all there to Greg Chappell. That went quicker, low to his left. And Jeff Thomson polishing off this England innings, getting rid of Derek Underwood. First ball, almost in identical fashion to the way he got rid of John Snow the ball before.
191 then, England all out in their first innings and forced to follow on by Ian Chappell, 341 runs behind. No real choice there, I believe, for Chappell. I thought he had to put them back in again. There was a school of thought that believed he should bat on and then set England a difficult 4th innings target, but I think he did the right thing in putting them back in. Jeff Thomson shared the new ball with Dennis Lilly. Pitch very good still, and weather conditions not favouring the Australian fast bowlers today. Here's Thomson bowling to John Edrich. Seems to be a bit of bounce there this morning. Noticed when Thomson was bowling in the end of the first innings, he was getting a little bit of life out of it. It was a very good delivery that just passed the outside edge of Edrich's bat. First runs off the bat, Turner's the fieldsman, and Edrich will take 2. Crisp stroke. Ross Edwards, the man after it. That outfield is very fast. It's the total. Now on to 9, and Edrich has made 7 of those. Good shot.
Interesting to note that in these great matches between England and Australia, there'd only 3 really wonderful names in cricket: Jack Hobbs, Wally Hammond and Herbert Sutcliffe have scored more runs than John Edrich in England-Australia Test matches. Edrich at the moment lying in 4th position, 2,536 runs. Average is 48. And getting another single which would take him nearer to Herbert Sutcliffe, the man immediately above him. Sutcliffe 2,700, but Herbert Sutcliffe the best average of all, of course, nearly 67. Wally Hammond averaged 51 in these series, and the master himself, Sir Jack Hobbs, averaged 54. It's a bit close that to leave alone, but just within safety. Ball flicking Barry Wood's pad. Didn't play a shot. I think we'll see on the replay, there's no question that ball could have come back far enough to disturb the off stump. A little bit too close for comfort. That's the best shot he's played today. Short, nicely cut away for 4. So Barry Wood, whose first 4 runs took him a shade over the hour, doubling it there with a fine cut for 4. And once again, it was a risky shot by Barry Wood. I think umpire Bird quite justified in turning down that appeal, but once again, very close. Coming back off the pitch, striking Barry Wood above the roll, and possibly have gone up a little higher and over the top. And that's got through, beating Thompson, skating away. That'll go through for 4. Thompson no chance of recovering once he'd let it slip. And to a roar of applause, the 50 partnership coming up with that on drive for 4 by John Edrich. So Edrich 39 out of the 53 England have made without loss in this, the second innings. Edrich again to face Walker. And that again, fairly close. Both openers have chanced their arm a little bit, allowing balls to pass just fractionally outside the off stump without offering a shot. I think we'll see again, that was a good decision by umpire Bird. The ball did come back, but I wouldn't have thought quite enough. But only just outside the off stump. Familiar sights, the 2 gas holders here at the Oval. One of the reasons why it's a dangerous job fielding the outfield, very difficult to pick the ball up with the background there. Well, Barry Wood considered himself unlucky there. Had a pretty good on drive, but straight at the foot of forward short leg. So it's just an hour now since Barry Wood came out after lunch with his score on 8. He's added a single in that time. He's made it this time, nothing wrong with that shot. Nice, good on drive. He's not even bothering to run for it. So just about the biggest roar of the day. Boundary greeting Barry Wood, moving on from 9 to 13 at the end of that over from Mullet. Richie Benno and myself thought we might see something of Ian Chappell before very long in this second innings. One man probably with more chance of anybody else on this pitch is the right arm leg spinner, the one spinning the ball with the wrist. It's a good shot. Half volley outside the off stump. Cracked away through the offside by Barry Wood. Another good shot. Overpitched half volley, driven away straight this time, hurrying away for 4 more. So Barry Wood taking advantage of that bowling change, extending his score by 8 runs in that over, 2 fine shots. And he moves on to 22 with John Edrich on 48. This partnership now worth 76 for England.
Inside edge onto the pad. Oh, that must be close indeed, yes. That looked absolutely plumb, beaten for pace there. That's good bowling by Thompson, coming back in the second over of the spell and bowling really fast. Twice to beat Barry Wood, the second time having him OBW, and there it is. And yes, that looked to be pretty plumb. Looked as though he was beaten for pace there. First English wicket goes down in the second innings at 77. Barry Wood, OBW to Thompson, and he made 22. No third man. Chappell having pulled up the extra man into the slip cordon. Not worrying too much about runs, but just on getting another breakthrough. There it is, Edrich's half century. Got the 2 runs to go on to 51. He's been the main scorer for England in this total of 86 for 1. He's hit 3 fours in that half century, and it's taken him 3 minutes over the 3-hour mark. Next Walker. And there'll be overthrows there. In fact, it'll go for 5. So 5 runs to John Edrich. I should think the umpires will have to have a word about the boys running on the field there. That was fielded some 10 yards inside the boundary. 3 slips in a gully for Thompson, bowling to Steele. That's not far away. He's not playing a shot. Normally, a few years ago, he wouldn't have had an appeal against him there, but with this new law in, I mean, a lot of batsmen in this season's cricket have allowed the ball to go. Oh, that must have exercised the umpire's mind at the Vauxhall end. Inside edge, just past leg stump. Lakoska, the fieldsman. To see spin at the Vauxhall end now, with Ian Chappell coming on. He's already bowled 1 over. Just wide of slip. Greg Chappell had slipped there, is very wide. That's well bowled by Chappell. And the 100 comes up now for England, with John Edrich going on to 62. 102 for 1.
There's the nasty one. It was quite skillfully played by Edrich, because that turned and lifted just a shade. And needed a long stretch out there by Edrich to smother the turn and keep the ball down. Fine ball. There you see the ball lifting. In fact, they seem to take a little patch of dust as well. Very well played. And that gave Marsh no chance at all. It was a no ball pitched in the rough. He was completely blinded, and it'll go through for 4 byes. He's found the gap nicely. That's exactly where they took the man from. Lovely little sweep shot there by David Steele, going through for 4. Well, all batsmen are pleased when they do something like that. The field being moved, leaving him the gap round the corner, and he found it the very next ball. And again, it's good placement there by David Steele. Saw the gap this time on the off stump, waited for it and pushed it through there. And turning quickly for the 3rd, have to move. John Edrich now on 70. It's lofted high in the air around the corner there. And the sweep shot against the spin, the top edge, would really have gone anywhere. But it brings 2 more to John Edrich. So that single bringing up the 50 partnership between these two. Short one, put away nicely again through mid-wicket by Steele, off the back foot, not hit with any power at all, but nicely timed. The ball hurrying through on this fast oval outfield for 4 runs. Done it again, a nice half volley, another nicely timed shot. No great power in it, but the placement very skillful indeed. And David Steele notches another 3.
It's a good shot. Slightly unusual stroke, but very well executed. Rolling his wrists over the sweep without even bothering to go down on one knee.
Dennis Lillee, always aggressive to Steele and just making him hurry. I think that's the marvellous thing about Dennis Lillee, particularly. It doesn't matter when he comes on, however late in the day or however tired he may feel, he always seems to manage to show an aggressive face to the batsman. I don't think I've ever seen him just sort of come up and just bowl a length and a line and hope for a wicket. He's always coming in, pounding in, looking as though he means it. And that one was very, very close to the leg stump. Fairly similar to the way David Steele was out in the first innings. Leg goes across. And it did, in fact, come between his legs. Exactly the same as in the first innings, but this time it just missed the leg stump.
150 up. The loss of only Barry Wood. Good reply from England in their second innings, having been dismissed for 191 in the first.
And 3 times in that over a play and miss outside there by John Edrich. Just about 17 more minutes this evening for John Edrich to hang out there. He's on 83. We're in the 81st over. Well, that's a good shot. Straight through for 4 runs. Over pitch ball. Punched it nicely away. On the boundary, taking him on to 87. 164 for 1. Should work out that the Australians will have a new ball to start the 5th day's play with here tomorrow. It's Walters at the moment, coming into Steele. And that's even beaten the diving Ross Edwards. Another nicely struck drive through extra cover, not with a lot of power. Every chance that they can run 4. Long, long way out to that boundary. And I think a couple of quicker men between the wickets there could easily have got 5. So the magic of Doug Walters hasn't worked this time. Pulled out of the attack after those 3 overs, and a recall for Jeff Thompson. Well, that brought a cheer from the crowd. Short bouncer, hooked over mid-wicket, not even behind square. Ross Edwards having a chase, this time around the onside, and David Steele getting 3 more. Very, very close to that. That, in fact, going just about over the top of the off stump. And that's off an outside edge, and that'll go through for David Steele's 50. And what a great performance by this cricketer from Northampton. He goes on every match, nothing seems to worry him, plays every ball on its merit. A remarkable achievement by him in this Test match series. And it makes one wonder whether there might not be 1 or 2 other cricketers knocking around county cricket such as he's done, who could do a similar job. 2.5 hours it's taken him. And David Steele won't be appreciating those people coming on to upset and disturb his equilibrium out there. Just 3 4s in the 50. And back to the rock-like defence.
Well, that's a heartening sight for English cricket supporters. 179 for 1 at the close. Just the 1 wicket down that of Barry Wood for 22. Fine innings by Edrich and an equally good one by David Steele, who must reckon this Test cricket's a pretty easy game. He hasn't failed against the Australians yet, and he really has played extremely well today. Well, tomorrow morning the new ball is due. Ian Chappell will take it straight away. Quite certainly he'll throw Lilly and Thompson into the attack immediately. And the Australians must break through if they're to have a real chance of winning the game. 162 needed to make Australia bat again. The way England batted today and the way the pitch played, it'll be no easy task. Just a word that doesn't involve hindsight as far as the follow-on goes. I certainly would have put England in again. I wouldn't have batted had I been in Chappell's shoes. I agree entirely with what he did. And I don't think with the lead of 341 that you can find any Australian captain who would have done otherwise. But it's going to be a long, hard haul for the Australians, for the fast bowlers, with not a great deal of pace in this pitch and very little spin at the moment. And if England tomorrow evening have a 100 lead, as they might well do if they bat all day, then it could be a very interesting final day.